On the show in Wheelspin, we drive the upgraded Volvo S80. In Wheelspin, we also drive the quirky concept car, Renault KWID. Datsun announces the price of their entry car, GO. And on the road, we celebrate Holi with the new Fiat Linea in Mathura and Barsana. If you are in the market to buy a luxury car, you'll be surprised to find that the market is predominantly German, Audis, Mercedes and BMWs. But have no fear if you don't like German machinery, because there is one lone Scandinavian warrior who plans to take the fight to the German camp, the brand Volvo. The S80 is the top of the line offering from Volvo for the Indian market and is positioned to compete with the likes of the Mercedes E-Class, the BMW 5 Series and the Audi A6. The S80 is comparable to all these in terms of dimensions and engine capacity and even the pricing. Given Volvo's reputation for safety and exceptional build quality, the S80 can be a major competitor to these well-established brands. S80 in my opinion had always been a nice looking car, maybe a bit understated, and it lacks the flamboyance of some of the other cars, but at the same time it is very elegant. What I have today with me is the upgraded S80. When I say upgraded S80, you might expect a lot of changes, but actually there are hardly any changes to the exterior. What it gets now is daylight running lights and a twin chrome exhaust in the back. But the inside too has a few changes, so let me step inside and show you what these changes are. Although the S80 has been around in the Indian market for a few years, this is the first time that it's getting an upgrade, and I certainly would have wished for a more substantial one than just basic feature upgrades. This Volvo S80 hasn't really got any major upgrades to the interiors, but whatever little it has got is somewhat value added. It now gets a 3-spoke steering wheel which is leather wrapped with multifunction buttons, and it's really nice to hold. It also gets pedal shift gears for quick easy gear changing, and the instrumentation cluster goes digital. It's really large dial and very nice and easy to read. The TFT screen gets 3 modes of display: Eco, Elegance and Performance, which means you can change the coloring of the display according to your mood. This Volvo S80 comes with 2 engine options, both in diesel, a 2.4 litre and a 2 litre one. What I'm driving here today is the 2.4 litre diesel engine, which churns out about 215 brake horsepower, which is quite enough for a car like this, although it's not terribly fast, but it does the job quite well. This 2.5 litre engine delivers about 440 Newton meters of torque, which really comes in handy during the initial sprint. And the engine is mated to a 6-speed automatic gearbox, which obviously comes with a sports mode as well. And now on this upgraded S80, you also get pedal shifts for faster shifts. The base version of the S80 comes with a 2-litre diesel engine, which churns out about 163 brake horsepower and a torque of 400 Newton meters. And even the base is available with a 6-speed gearbox. The S80 rides on standard 17-inch alloys, but the company also provides for 18-inch alloys as company-fitted accessories. The handling of this S80 is quite nice. It stays very planted, feels very solid on the highway, and even at speeds which are completely illegal, it does hold the road very well indeed. Like all European imports, this too is sprung a little harder in terms of the suspension setup, but you don't really feel all the bumps coming into the cabins because the wheelbase is very long and the seat is very well cushioned. In terms of safety features, this new upgraded S80 comes with what is called the distance stability and traction control system, which means that if this car is cruising at around 50 kilometers in city traffic and the car in front of you suddenly brakes, then this car will automatically brake to avoid the collision. And that, I feel, is a very intelligent addition to this S80. And Volvo is known for its safety, and this is another step in the right direction. However, in terms of airbags, the S80 comes with only 6 airbags as compared to its smaller sibling, the S60, which comes with 8 airbags. Why it should be less in the bigger and more expensive car is baffling to me, more so given Volvo's reputation for safety. As an owner of an S80, I am sure you will spend a lot of time in the back seat of this car, and if you happen to do so, you will find it a very comfortable place. Nice leather-wrapped seats which are well contoured to hold you in place, with an armrest which also doubles up as a place for your knickknacks, for bottle holders, and this window screens here along with individual air conditioning and a 12-volt socket here to make sure that you can do your work while on the move. All in all, quite a nice, comfortable place to spend time in, and more so as the ride comfort too is very good in this car. In terms of comfort and conveniences, it comes with all the features that one can expect in a luxury car in this range. But where the S80 delivers exceptional value is in terms of quality. The leather feels and looks good, and even the headrest looks sculpted and designed superbly. The wood garnish on the fascia adds a touch of nice class, and the switchgear and the knobs too feel solid. The S80's main advantage is its brilliant designing and the quality of the cabin. The Volvo S80 had always been a nice car. Lots of space, plenty of features inside, good to drive, and with a competitive price tag. But if it had failed to stack up against the big German boys, then it's because of Volvo's low-key brand presence. If somehow Volvo manages to rectify that, then I'm sure this S80 will be a major player in the Indian market and garner a much bigger market share for itself. The Volvo S80 will be available in 2 trims, the D4 and the D5. The D5 is priced at Rs 44 lakhs, while the D4 is priced at Rs 41 lakhs.
At first glance, this car looks like it's been designed for the moon. Small beady headlamps for its eyes, a short stubby nose and a wide mouth open grille. It does look every bit alien, but in a cute, friendly sort of way. This is the Renault KWID, a concept car designed with inputs from Renault Design India and is an experimental vehicle to explore the off-road segment packed together in a compact size. Protective guards, short overhangs and big balloon-type chunky tires, the KWID does impart a robust appearance that can easily glide over the most adventurous of terrains. It's a two-wheel drive vehicle powered by a scaled-down 1.2-litre turbocharged petrol engine, but is a zero-emission vehicle and can easily accommodate batteries for electric use. Doors swing upwards to allow easy access into the cabin. It has seating for 5 adults, but what is unique is the fact that the driver sits in the center, flanked by 2 passengers on either side and 2 passengers at the back. The interior seems inspired from a weaver bird's nest with its asymmetric patterns that adorn the seat and the roof. It does seem pretty snug on the inside, and the cockpit and dashboard design seem every bit as futuristic as the outside. An F1 car type steering wheel with all the controls occupies the place of pride. Behind it is a small digital dashboard with large digits for easy readout. On the right is a centrally mounted starter button surrounded by controls for the automatic gearbox. The 7-inch tablet mounted on the left is the control for another unique aspect of this car, the Flying Companion. This is basically a quad-rotor flying machine which takes off from the rear portion of the Kwid's roof and can be used to detect obstacles on the road ahead, scout for traffic, or even take pictures of the landscape. All this is interesting, but when was the last time one ever got to drive a concept car? Never. Thanks to Renault, this is the first time ever we've been given just the opportunity to do so. Now the car that I'm driving today is a one-off exclusive. You won't see any others like it. It costs twice as much as a Bugatti Veyron. And what is it? It's the Renault Concept Car. Now this particular thing, it's very rare that we get a chance to drive something like this, let alone get inside it, but we're actually driving this particular concept car. It's powered by a 1.2-liter turbocharged petrol engine. It's a little rickety on the inside because after all this is just a design study and into the Indian mini crossover market, and that's why Renault says that this car is very, very important for this particular market, and that's why they've chosen to showcase it over here. So, how does it feel? Well, we appreciate the opportunity, but we really didn't get the chance to actually explore the capabilities of the car. The maximum speed we managed was about 20 km per hour on the small restricted course. It feels easy to maneuver because of its small size and wheels placed at the extremes, and definitely a concept worth exploring for the crowded city traffic type conditions and for the occasional off-road use.
Launched their comeback vehicle, the GO, with an eye to corner a slice of the Indian compact car market, which accounts for about 75% of the market here. We had driven the GO and found that this is a basic car and concluded that it will only work if the pricing was aggressive. As a product, the GO just might make it, provided Datsun puts a very aggressive price tag on it. But don't forget, the competition is very, very intense in the segment between 2.5 lakhs to 4 lakhs. So with no clear-cut USPs as a product, the only edge that might make the Datsun GO really go is an aggressive price tag. Well, Datsun announced the price of the GO this week, and it is indeed a competitive price tag they have put on the car. The GO starts at Rs 3.12 lakhs for the base version, and the mid one costs Rs 3.46 lakhs, while the top one is priced at Rs 3.69 lakhs. This might look good, but keep in mind that the base version doesn't even come with a power steering, and the top one doesn't offer any safety features like airbags or ABS, even as an option at an extra cost. On the plus side though, the GO offers relatively decent cabin size and an engine which drives well with a ARI certified fuel efficiency of over 20 km to a litre. End of the day, the GO remains a car which will cater to all those who are looking for a bargain and an affordable four-wheeler. In terms of features and build quality, the GO still leaves a lot to be desired for. In our travel section, we have been to many places which have been extremely beautiful and scenic. But this time we are off to a place to celebrate a festival. As North India gears up for its most colorful festival, the festival of Holi, we are off to a place which is considered to be the birthplace of this festival, the land of Lord Krishna and Radha. I am off to Mathura and Barsana, and I think this is going to be a rather colorful trip. My driving companion on this trip is this Fiat Linea. As you can see, she is not the old one but the brand new one, and she has had quite a few changes. She looks new and classy now with a new grille, new front bumpers, new tail lamps, and the rear too has had a few changes. But now it's time for me to step inside and see what's changed there. The interiors too have had quite a nice upgrade. The fascia looks great in dual tone beige and black, and the instrumentation is something I quite like. Chrome ring, large dial, very sporty and easy to read. The steering wheel is nice and leather wrapped, and in this top trim that I am driving, the seats come with leather. Quite a nice change to the old Linea, and I think this will add value tremendously. The engine though remains the same. It's a 1.3 litre multi-jet, but the strength of the engine is that it's quite torquey at low end and has enough power for highway cruising, and on top of it the fuel efficiency is really good. All in all, the Linea is quite a nice highway cruiser. After leaving Delhi, we drove on the Yamuna Expressway and then took the exit for our first stop, Mathura. This is a city which is steeped in history, from being the birthplace of Lord Krishna to a city which serves as the gateway to the famed Taj Mahal. This is on the itinerary of many a serious traveller and a must for believers, as Mathura is simply littered with temples and even mosques. The drive to Mathura is through the city of Vrindavan, which again is a place which has a lot of significance, and both these cities are situated on the banks of the river Yamuna. The drive from Delhi to Mathura is a short one of about 2 hours. I finally make it to Mathura, and my first stop here is this temple behind me. This is of huge significance, as this is considered to be the birthplace of Lord Krishna. Even if you are not very fond of sweets, one thing you must try out if you are in Mathura is the local sweetmeat called peda. It's really nice, and now it's my turn to try one. Thank you. Really tastes good. After spending some time in Mathura, I drove towards Barsana. After all, we were here to celebrate Holi, and what better place than Barsana? Barsana is around 45 kilometers from Mathura, and according to mythology, close to this place is a village called Nandgaon, the village where Lord Krishna spent his childhood. After you leave the highway near Kosi, the road to Barsana becomes really scenic. Lush green fields on both the sides and hardly any traffic. It's a rather enjoyable drive. I'm here at a place which is easily the best known place in Barsana. The Radharani temple is perched atop a hill, and it's really beautiful here, and hundreds of devotees come here every day to worship Lord Krishna and Radha. And this temple is also important for another reason. This is from where the holy procession starts every year. As good as it gets in terms of holy revelry. Lots of color, lots of dancing. This is, I feel, the right way to celebrate a festival as colorful as Holi. But as it turned out, we were a week too late for the famous Latmar Holi, which is played out between the villages of Barsana and Mathura. Legend has it that Lord Krishna arrived here with his friends to play Holi with Radha. According to tradition, the women of Barsana gather here to discourage the menfolk who come here to play Holi and rain them with mock blows of lathis. But these resolute men hardly give in, and even after this strong discouragement, they still play Holi. And not only that, but come back again the next year. This is the much celebrated Holi of Barsana, which is played out year after year, keeping to its tradition, and in the process drawing a large number of visitors who come to witness this rather unusual custom. After leaving Barsana, I drive back to Mathura to spend a quiet evening by the banks of the river Yamuna. If you know your geography, you would know that the river Yamuna flows through Mathura. But what you probably wouldn't know is the fact that there are 12 ghats in Vrindavan in Mathura. And I am on one of these ghats. This ghat is called the Vishram Ghat in Mathura. Vishram, literally translated into English, means rest. No, this is not the final resting place of anybody. Instead, the place gets its name because Lord Krishna, after getting rid of the demon king Kans, rested here. Hence the name. I had a lovely trip to Mathura and Barsana, and I strongly recommend that if you do have a long weekend on your hands, do make this trip, even if you're not religiously inclined, because there are plenty of things to do. And if you want to celebrate next year exactly how Holi was celebrated many years ago, then you must make the trip to Barsana. I'm sure you will love the festivities there. See you on the show next week.